1 to 3. The question is that they stand part.
Chairman.
I call the Honourable Trevor Mallard.
Chairman, thank you for the call on this particular matter, and I must say that it is good to see the Minister in charge of the bill in the House. It's good to see her here, preparing to defend, for the first time in the committee stages, what is an outrageous piece of legislation being pushed through under urgency with a shortened select committee process that was very, very badly run. I think there are two elements to this bill, and together they make April Fool's Day as the implementation date for all but Section 10 an appropriate date for it to be brought in, because it's a bill, it's legislation coming in on April Fool's Day by a government who have worked really hard in order to fool the public of New Zealand. This is the nasty, vindictive part of the National Party coming out. It's the part which hates wage and salary earners, which hates people who get low incomes, which is determined to drive their conditions down, to stop their representatives meeting them, and to ensure that they have no job security. This is the sort of legislation that National Party people go to their branch meetings for. This is the sort of horrible stuff that the people who really like the ACT Party, that the far right of the National Party are promoting. And I say, Mr. Chairman, it is the ugly side of the National Party, and it is the I want to disagree. My colleague said it's the only side. I think over the years there have been some more reasonable, more centrist approaches to legislation. I know that Jim Bolger, as Minister of Labour, would never bring in a bit of legislation on April Fool's Day. Now, we used to disagree with him quite a lot, but I don't think he was seen as a devil incarnate in the way that this minister is, in the way that she acts. Ms. Speaker, the title of the Act is the Employment Relations Amendment Act Number 2, and I'm wondering whether that is an appropriate title, or whether there could be some other titles. The Stop the Sexually Harassed Worker Getting Her Representative into the Workplace Act. It's Fire the Low Income Worker Without Giving Reasons Act. Whether they would be more appropriate titles to this bill. Because what we have here, Mr. Chairman, is legislation which is designed to drive down the working conditions of ordinary Kiwis. And I am certain there is a better title, a more appropriate title for this legislation than currently exists. Mr. Speaker, there's a commencement date there of the 1st of July 2011 for part of it. There's another rest of the Act coming into force on the 1st of April 2011, and it amends the Employment Relations Act 2000. Well, I think the one bit that I can't disagree with is clause 3. It is, well, I don't disagree with the fact that it does amend. It does amend the Employment Relations Act. That, I'm not going to vote for it because I don't think it should be amended in this way, but that's factually accurate. But whether, and probably appropriate given the content of the bill, although the content is inappropriate, and it does go to the Employment Relations Act 2000. Mr. Speaker, I'm sure that over a period of time we will have a number of amendments that come to you on this particular issue, and some of them will go, I hope, to the name, and I'm sure that some of my colleagues have views as to alternative dates which they might currently be getting drafted in order to defer the implementation, so whether or not union officials should have access
when people are being sexually harassed might be deferred until after the next general election in order to have an approach which is fair.
Call